More medications, less health. Something's broken. Traditional medicine manages symptoms, but true healing addresses root cause. I'm Josh Rimini, pharmacist turned healer. At Beyond the Pills, we merge ancient wisdom with modern-day science to inspire you through stories of transformation, practical trainings, and holistic healing. Join me and other practitioners as we guide you towards vibrant health, body, mind, and spirit, and move beyond symptom management into true healing. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Pills, the podcast where ancient wisdom meets modern science for true healing. I'm Josh Rimini, your host, pharmacist turned healer, and today's guest, Robyn Yamamoto. She's a wellness entrepreneur, a former dental professional with a deep passion for expanding alternative, non-pharmaceutical, which I think is a Beyond the Pills approach, those pathways to healing and vitality. After years inside the traditional healthcare model, Robyn felt called to explore more innovative, natural technologies that help people move beyond a life defined by medications and chronic ailments. Known for her empathic, people-centered approach, she's driven by one thing above all else: hearing real stories of repair, recovery, and renewed quality of life. Through her work, Robyn blends heart, science, and leadership to empower individuals to reclaim their health and step into a more vibrant, aligned way of living. I am really excited to share and explore her journey, her passion for cutting-edge wellness technologies, and where she sees the future of healing headed. Welcome to the show, Robyn.
Thank you, Josh. That was amazing. Thank you for having me and letting me share. This is
I love synchronicities. I love serendipities. You happened to find me in a time and place where we were having this podcast and doing these things, and I have a somewhat experience with some of the technologies you've used, and this is kind of a nice reunion of sorts. And so I'm glad that we're here. Thank you for coming on the show. But take us back for a moment. Like, you started a career in dentistry, which, like me, I started in pharmacy, and look what I'm doing now, right?
Right.
What was that chapter in your life like, and what began? And then I love that what's the turning point where you felt misaligned?
Yeah, in high school, I was like, oh, I better follow what my family's doing, the computer, down the path of technology. And I really didn't like technology. I knew I needed to do something with like the human body itself. And I was introduced to dentistry by accident. One of our high school buddies, his dad was a dentist, and they needed help. And I'm like, here I am. So I literally learned that I was natural with the human body, the person, the end result of helping somebody with their needs, right? And it just happened to be dentistry. So I dove in. That became my career. And 34 years later, I still love teeth. I love dentistry. But 34 years later, out came that virus that we all know that had hit the world. Are we allowed to use the word? Started with the C.
The C word.
The C word. At the time I was in California, living in California, and it shut down the world. So I was like, well, guess I'm not going to work today. I was just sitting there like, what do we do? And I also got it really bad. So I was affected. I had brain fog. I went down the stairs and I forgot what I was doing. I mean, it did affect me. All the things were happening, like, let's go get vaccinated. You have to do this or else this. And I'm like, oh, slow down. It was a lot of pressure, especially where I was. And, I also, over 34 years of dentistry, developed such bad arthritis in my hands and my neck. And, you're sitting in this little position for so long, even if you have the best ergonomics, it's going to affect you. Like, it came with aches and pains. I learned to live in pain. And then when I was 13, backing up before, I had developed these excruciating headaches that never went away. Even through all the things, I used to get injections of Botox like in my cranium. which would work, but they would wear off. And then I was afraid of Botox. I'm like, what's happening? But I needed something for relief. So I did it. Um, and then when the C word came, I had a friend who was talking about the LifeWave patches. And she's like, you just got to try it. I mean, what if your pain went away? And I'm like, probably won't. I live on Advil. I live on pharmaceuticals to try to help. But you know what? I was just sitting around anyway. I wasn't working. I have young children. I was just sitting there. And I'm wearing it on my neck today, but at the time, it was patented the back of your neck. So I put it there. I didn't know. I didn't ask any questions. I thought, okay, I'll amuse you, and she's like, what if it works? And so I stuck it on. um, so my story was I was a one patch wonder. Some people are, some people are not. I woke up the next morning. I jumped out of bed and went down the stairs. And that's when I stopped and was like, I just ran down the stairs. Like I hadn't done that since I had gotten the V or the C. And I knew my life changed. I felt the shift. So the brain fog, I was like, you guys, I felt it. And I didn't have a headache because going down the stairs, I used to be like, ow, 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 each step. And I didn't have a headache for the first time. And I'm 52. So, since I was 13, I did not have a headache. And for the first time, I didn't have the headache. So that was a shift for me. And fast forwarding, I mean, the miracles that happened just to me and my family are astounding, so yeah.
Well, let's dive in then. Let's dive into this technology, right? This little
Right.
patch behind your neck.
Yeah.
A lot of this work focuses on these innovative wellness technologies without getting terribly technical, even though I would probably enjoy that.
Yeah.
How do you explain what excites you most about these tools? Like give the listeners a little bit of depth into what you're talking about here.
Yeah, what I like is when you think about the patch, the technology is trapped into this little circle. Nothing is going in your body. It's non-transdermal. So there is a mixture of amino acids, water, oxygen. It's like a trapped technology turns into a crystalline lattice. That is the technology. Now, the patented side, we don't get to see that part. But there's 200 patents on the technology trapped in the sticker. So when you think about, I'm kind of the sciencey nerd like you, I'm like, I got to know it all. But then you think about people who don't want to know the science. Literally, you put it on anywhere you want it, stick it where it hurts or put it where it's patented. What happens is our body emits low levels of light. So internal light versus external light sun. And it reflects back to that crystalline lattice that is trapped in the pad. And that technology will in turn it stimulates your body's ability to wake up the cells at a mitochondrial level and start working. It activates your own copper peptides rather than trying to dose yourself, which you don't know your doses that you need in a supplement. And it activates your body's healing mechanisms. I mean, we're not allowed to say we heal people. Nobody's allowed to say that. We can't treat or cure, prevent diseases, but miracles happen.
Well, I've been around the block too many times, all over the world, exploring healing modalities, seeing real time heal. And a lot of this podcast, this is why we do it here, right? Is we don't talk about cures, we talk about healing. Healing means not removing some problem, it's restoring balance. So the traditional model keeps going in the way of, this is why we call it beyond the pills here. The old model is fine. It's not broken, it's just not complete. So when we're talking healing and transformation, really what I continue to have, this is why I love that there's not one size fits all, but the formula is the same. The formula is, how do we unlock the body's own innate ability to do what it wants to do? This is the essence of longevity. This is why the hacks are coming out, because we're shifting the process.
That's right.
I read a book in Peru when I was on my own healing journey in 2024. And the book was I'm trying to remember the name of this book, but it was an old book, but it talked about light and DNA
Yeah.
and how the DNA, our literal human genomic DNA
Yep.
responds to light, right? It's down to the genomics. You said down to the mitochondria, but what does the mitochondria needs a signal, and that signal comes from your genes, and your genes come from your DNA. But
Right.
how does the DNA in our bodies know what's the signal to the DNA? And this is where the root cause is. And
Right.
these were the ancients talking about this. We are light beings. We are light beings. Everything is drawn about light.
Right.
So when this technology, it harnesses the ability of the body to restore by way of signaling through nature's best, one of nature's best communication pathways.
That's right. That's right.
And so we there's that ancient wisdom, and then we have the modern day science. You said like there's 200 patents on this technology. It's a technologically advanced, patented, which means it's got data to support. Now, we can't say heal. We can't say claim, right? There's FDA. There's all these things we can't say. However, we can share stories.
We can share stories. And
we can share stories. We can share our own experiences, and we can teach through experiences.
Right.
So before we get into the stories of repair, renewal, and transformation, I want to ask you one question, though. Like, why do you think these technologies like this, the LifeWave patch, and this light-driven technological advancement, why does it resonate so deeply with people who felt stuck or unheard in the conventional medicine?
Yeah, I mean, me alone, just my example. I mean, I had to learn to live in pain. And when somebody has to learn to live in pain, you're a little bit miserable all the time. I mean, I wake up naturally caffeinated. I'm a happy person. I experience joy every day, but I was in pain. And sometimes I had to do my job in pain. And could I do it always well? Probably not. But I adapted. So when I got my experience, I knew right away that I had so many people I could touch, so many people's lives I could change. I immediately went to my husband. I'm like, oh my gosh, he knew I lived in pain. I used to wear those little hats that were ice hats. And he was what's called a cardiac cripple because he experienced a mistake during an open heart surgery in 2018 that left him. Basically, they said he had 7 years left to live. So I'm like, I'm going to put these on you. I mean, if it got rid of my headache, why wouldn't it work for you? I did my own research. I'm like, honey, it's stem cells. We can't even use that word, but it's been shown to activate your copper peptides, which is in turn is responsible for elevating your stem cell activities. So, why it resonates with me is I saw his body's response and my body's response, my kids. And I'm just like, I'm going to the moon. I'm telling everybody I know. And because we're a global company, $1 billion company with zero debt, that's 22 years old. I mean, I'm kind of that sciencey nerd like you are. I'm like, I got to see the proof is in the pudding. There's so much out there. Why this? And I know sunlight is our free natural phototherapy, elevates your vitamin D. We all know that sunlight makes you happy. But this technology, it's called photobiomodulation, which basically turns on the biochemical process in your body. So that it will give you a response. Everybody will get a response.
Well, you think of it this way. It's funny too. It's not funny. It's real. Like everything I keep moving towards in this new light of like these modern day tech things that are working. Like I'm sitting on the world's most advanced PEMF map right now. Like the tech I love, but it's what the tech does that mimics the body and the nature of existence. What you're talking about is light. And if you just think about it to the listeners, like make it as simple as possible. This is how light turns into energy through photosynthesis, right? There's a ton of photosynthesis receptors on plants. We know that light does something, but it also does it to the body. Like you said, how do you activate vitamin D receptors in your body? How do you create a chemical, which is actually a hormone? It's more like a hormone than a vitamin, but we can get to that in another way. But the body activates its own resources to create this beautiful thing, which uplifts your mood because vitamin D will do that. But it's through the light activation. And so you did play in the realm of copper peptides and stem cells. Well, there's a lot of that going on right now. Stem cell therapy, exosomes, peptides. I use nanoemulsion oral peptides a lot now. Like, this is a way for the body to unlock its own pathway to working more efficiently.
Exactly that. That's right. Yeah.
Talk about maybe some of the applications or the patents or whatever, but we can work through the science. But talk beyond your family, because I think people they don't want to go to like my testimonial. Like, hey, what have you seen in? You've been an advocate for this technology and product, but so you've obviously there's plenty of data. The data is through your stories of transformation. This is how we see it, right? So what are things you might have, without going like way over the moon, but like what are things that have you seen from this process? When the body does take over, it kind of, I always say, like, you work upstream, the downstream stuff gets fixed. So all these downstream things that happen from an upstream problem, this is what we're talking about. This is the essence of why we work towards functional health, right?
Right. Well, and everything is publicly out there. If somebody wants to go and look at all the clinical studies, all the testimonies, they can. When I think about my team or my community that I've helped, I mean, we're talking thousands of people. They will message me. It's like a miracle inbox. And they'll say, Robyn, my mom that used to tremor from the development that they got, that they labeled it was Parkinson's or what, we can't even use that word, but they're not tremoring anymore. My best friend had a massive stroke. Her daughter found her. So they confined her to a wheelchair. Well, after all the things she tried in the system, nothing worked. Well, she's walking, right? And she's patching. So, I mean, it does go beyond my personal family. The things that I have seen are miracles. Like, I believe in miracles. I've seen it happen. I know our bodies are designed to heal. And I don't think you have to take a pill for every ill. I really don't think you need to. Yeah.
Well, and that's why you're on the show. We're beyond the pills here. Like, our goal, our big, hairy, audacious goal here on Beyond the Pills, we've officially started the community now in response to all the popularity and all the people wanting to go beyond sickness, beyond pills.
People are looking, right?
Yeah, well, people are. And this is where I think we're at this space and time, right? Some of this technology has been around a while, right? Yes. And there's many things that have been around a while, but the right place, right time, right, the things that are happening today. One, this is why I think like people like hearing these things, because they're looking for alternative solutions only because the traditional, whatever model they've chosen has failed them because they're not getting their outcome. And there's lots of reasons for that. One of them I feel is we're moving beyond symptom management,
right,
and into where I think providers and people and pharmacists and doctors, why we go to medical school and pharmacy schools, we want to heal people,
right?
But the tools we had were really just reducing the symptom. The pill for the ill has been around for a very long time, and we've been conditioned in that. And there's nothing, I say it all the time because I don't want to discount where we've come from.
Right.
Doctors, pharmacists, ERs, like physical medicine, it's all really important. However, if you're looking to go beyond that, we have to look in different areas because the system isn't rigged for that yet.
Right. Right. And, when you go to the pharmacy and you get this cute little bottle every month, they count on you to go back and get that little bottle every month. It's also it's a business, right? So it's, I mean, there's a whole nother side of that we can go into, sometimes you,
Well, I've it's story of my life. Yeah,
right,
you probably could use a part of my book will be in that space. Okay,
right,
the book
right,
is being written.
right.
Um, is literally talking about that. Like, so this is where we're at. The process of deprescribing unnecessary medication. So the reason for that is we got to make them unnecessary.
Right,
How we make them unnecessary is the conversation like this,
right,
right? Where something that could activate your body's ability to do what it's supposed to do, in other words, heal, because
right,
we have healing mechanisms in us, right? You cut your finger, you'll figure that out quickly.
right,
Like the body will heal itself when the certain circumstances are there. Now we're going past the space of, well, I have to cut myself to heal me. It's like, no, how do you just turn on those things?
right. You just,
Whether we're turning on the longevity genes and sirtuins and stem cell activators and things like that, we're starting to get closer to, well, we know the chemicals exist in here, and we know that there's a thought component that can create that. But now we also have these, I call them tools, right? These are tools
right,
to help us move our bodies naturally, rhythmically in the way that they're supposed to. And what I do like about LifeWave and some of these other technologies is, one, I think it's always in the space of like, will it work? I don't know, this and that. It's like most of the time I say, try it, see what it see what your experience is with it. Give it enough time.
right,
Like I kind of do like there's no guarantees in life. I was making a compound the other day, an RX for hormones. And my patient got really upset because she's like, I don't think it's working for me. I was like, well, there's no guarantees. We can modify it, but like we can't like, so in this space, it's like, it's kind of like, try it, see what happens, right?
right. Well,
And then,
LifeWave wants you to do that. They give you a money back guarantee. Try it risk free. Get your own experience. Don't take my word. Try it yourself. Like there's many options that they will give you. They want you to try it. They
well,
want
and the way I look at it, instead of I don't love the word money back guarantee because sometimes it feels like
right.
oh, just buy this, and if you don't like it, like most people don't. And no, but the real thing is like I kind of use like the give yourself. I use the supplement world. Like if I use this nutrient to get an outcome for you, let's say sleep,
Right.
give me the bottle. Like take this bottle, and when you're done with this bottle, let's take where you were and where you are now. Let's take some subjective and maybe objective testing
Yeah.
to support why we did it in the first place. And if it works for you, great. If not, let's pivot. So
Right.
it's like the empty box guarantee. It's like use the whole thing and see what happens for you. You don't like it, great. If you don't. We
Right.
did have this conversation though on a prior podcast. Was there it? I want to get your thoughts on this because I've been rolling with this for a long time with a lot of the mind body work and the mind body certifications and things that I do. Is there's a biology of belief.
100%.
Like, but what you said though is just why I like this. I want to test this with you
Yeah.
because you can be a skeptic
Right.
and still get results. And like it's the placebo or the nocebo effect is like
Right.
if you believe something is going to heal you, your thought will help that process or even make it happen.
Right.
Not because it was a placebo, but
Right.
because your belief put the patterns in place for the things to happen. It's literally biology. Bruce
Yeah.
Lipton wrote a book called Biology of Belief.
Yeah.
There's a biology down to the DNA. If you don't believe, there's a big chance nothing will work for you.
Right.
But people think that's psychosomatic. Well, that means no, it's psycho brain, somatic body,
Right.
mind body connection. So this is why I love ceremony, right? When you
Yes.
do something and you do it in ceremony, you're bringing intention in and
Right.
you're bringing belief into it's almost, I love merging science with spirituality.
Right.
They're actually the same thing. There's a quantum to this.
Right.
So I want to get your experience because in the beginning, you just said, I don't know, it's just some patch and I'm going to do it. And then the next day, you're like, holy crap,
Right.
what
I was
happened?
skeptical. I was skeptical. I do believe the power of the subconscious mind. That's also an amazing book. I was like, it ain't gonna happen. I was sick. I was injured. I was in pain. I was crabby. My job was taken away. All the things. I'm like, just put it on. So I was skeptical. But when I felt it, I was like, that's crazy. Let me look at it. I didn't even know what it was called, right? But there are so many skepticals. Like we've got this horses don't lie. Like the horses, there are studies and patents for that as well. You can patch a horse, which they're not going to tell you where it hurts. You can, and there's a whole thing on the equine the community with LifeWave. So when does it work? Do people who are skeptical put it on and maybe they don't work, or they convince themselves, no, nothing works, and they put it on, no, nothing works? That's possible too. Or they're just not seeing that it actually worked measurably. You can do blood work and things like that. Maybe they don't want to do that. And
Well,
until they're ready, maybe they won't see it.
well, and this was on our we did a longevity and men's vitality podcast. I think it
Yeah.
probably dropped right before this one.
Right.
Was they don't treat the patients until there is a mindset
Right.
that what they're doing, instead of like, hey, that's a big firm belief for me too, is like in energy medicine, this is energy, right? We're talking energy, energetics. It's not woo, it's literally science.
Mm-hmm.
And if the mindset isn't clear, then the energetic wavelength won't match. It literally is. I love digging into the science of it. My left brain is just like soaks this stuff up but we're there. Think of it like this way, like every scientific movie that's come out, some level of that technology has happened right before it happened. So we're kind of in the Star Trek world now, like going, what Tesla did back in the day is actually coming to fruition now. It's like these are technologies that we're harnessing free energy to bring energetics back into alignment with the body and move it forward. And if you think it's a bunch of crap, then don't get it, right? It's like one of those things for me is like there's so many paths to explore if you're willing to be open to the possibilities of what these things can do. Because yes, you may have patents and there's things to support, whether it's the stem cell activation and the peptides, like all of that's okay.
Yeah.
But there are some things in this world that our analytical brains will never be able to explain, yet they happen, right?
Right.
Just think of birthing bringing a life form into this world.
Right.
We don't have any idea how that energy, that once that happens, right?
It's a blast of light, right when that touches sperm meets the egg, it's a blast of light.
Yeah, it's all about light. It's light and energy, right?
Right. And people are like, no, yeah, no, 100%.
I always tell people is like, have you ever had a synchronistic event in your life? Like something happened what you can't explain, but it happened. Right. That's what this is part of the science. It's not pseudoscience. It's just there's things that are happening that we're moving towards. And so activating light frequencies into the body I still can't, my my analytical brain still can't wrap my head around this tiny little thing, what it does. Yet it does. And yet we're all variable. This is where I think people are also we're in a space where we can personalize people's well care plan and their longevity plans
Yeah.
with genomics and things. But we also have there's 8 billion variabilities, right? Every human has a different makeup. So whatever that thing is activating, the body still has an innate intelligence to figure out if or when or how or what that does. We don't really know, but it's doing it, right? These are chemical messengers coming from an energetic.
Right.
So this is why I love having this quantum conversation.
Yeah.
We know quantum physics, we know quantum computing. This is quantum healthcare,
Right.
where the particle and the wave, wave, right?
Yep, that's right.
The wave form and the particle exist at the same time. It's just how you're observing them.
Right.
So this is why thought can create a chemical.
That's right.
This is why the mind can make you well. The mind can make you sick. We know that stress makes you sick, causes inflammation, cortisol spike. Well, what is cortisol spike? It's from a thought, from an emotion.
That's right.
From an energetic frequency happening.
Right.
So this is in that reversal space.
This is it. Well, and this is targeting frequencies, wavelengths, low levels of light. So when your light hits this lattice that's in there, frequencies, wavelengths of light are, instantly, resetting 4,000 genes at a time, or elevating whatever patch you're wearing, elevating that peptide, elevating that chemical reaction in your body. And you're not going to be allergic to that. You have that already. It's elevating what you had. And that's fine.
Yeah. And that's kind of the conversation where when I say help the body, like healers help people heal. They don't heal them, right? Even if you're looking at energy work and medicine and Reiki, it's still the person healing themselves.
That's right.
And that means is when the body innately does what it's supposed to do, it means it's also really, when we're moving the good signals, it means the bad signals, the body doesn't really go towards it gets maladaptive, but these things, this is why I'm a fan of frequency medicines like PEMFs. But now we also have to look at what's been done, what's possible, but also what has proof, right? A proof of concept in the respect that this has been around a while. There's enough people that have tried it that have had good results. To me, how they got those results or why they got results doesn't necessarily matter, because they got results.
They got results. Yeah.
And that's the essence for me of when I work with people, is if I get you to where you want to be, I'm happy. Like we talked about it the other day, is like, it's kind of a horrible business model because we're not keeping people around forever. If they heal themselves, then like, this is why pharma doesn't like healing. They lose customers.
They lose customers.
I want to lose customers because there's plenty of people to heal.
Right.
The world needs healing.
I got my thing. I'm like, honey, we're going to put the patch on you. And I told my friends, and I got my kids, and because there's plenty of people who are experiencing what you're experiencing. It's not like you're by yourself. Right. And so why am I still wearing the patch when I feel amazing? When I got my eyesight is now 2020 and I'm no longer putting on my glasses. That happened after 2 years of patching. Had I stopped, would have my eyesight repaired? So I am still healing. There's all kinds of things that are going, but it's a referral based, like you said, if everybody heals, the company goes away. No, we're all aging. Your stem cells don't die. They lie dormant. They're waiting, encapsulated, ready to be regenerated, right? So regenerative medicine.
Well, and that's part of why I think the longevity regenerative medicine conversations we're having today is, one, we have accessibility to these things, but two, like physiologically or even evolutionary, like we're really not supposed to be around past birthing age, right? Because that's what nature wants. It just wants to repeat and procreate and continue to have an existence. So this is why as we age, these stem cell activations, the amount and the frequency that they're in and growth hormone and things like
Yeah.
that, they're going down because that is aging. So
Right.
it's not anti-aging. It's literally we're
Age
trying to
reversal.
keep ourselves vibrant
Right. Right.
to get our lifespan, but mostly what I think is health span in a better way. And so,
Right. That's right. I mean, that's exactly what it is. And just bringing light to everybody is our purpose, is our goal.
well,
Yeah.
that's a nice way to say it because it resonates, right? Is
Right.
we're bringing light to the world and we're helping heal people one step at a time.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's evidence-based technology. I mean, people can dive deep like I did, and some people are like, just
well,
tell me if it works, you know? So,
we got a little time. Talk a little bit about the technology right now. Like talk a little bit about what's been looked at. I know you can't speak to claims,
yeah,
but there's clinical studies.
yeah, there are so many clinical studies and measurable. You can do blood work, you can do the thermography. You know, when people they're in dark and running around, people put the night vision goggles on, they see things that are red and green and different colors. That's your body heat. It's picking up on your emittance of light. And those are all measurable things. They measure it in FTIR all of a sudden. But that's the technology that measures the light that's reflected, the exact wavelengths of light that's reflected from your body to the technology. And that's how they know it works. And each lattice has a different wavelength of light that's going to reflect
It's
back.
kind of like a prism. Is a different structure
It's
to the
exactly
prism.
right. That's exactly right. So when you reflect that light back, it's going to give a response to you. And so and we know we emit different wavelengths of light. There's sound therapy, there's light therapy. People are obsessed with red light therapy now, the external light therapy. This is your internal light therapy. You're the battery, you're the electricity that's happening, you know. And so I just I still learn something new every day when I hear stories where I go on to the science. There's all kinds of technology. You can go listen to David speak. David Schmidt's he's a walking human, like a wealth of knowledge. We get to hear him speak all the time. And I learn something new every day. When I hear him, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's something new. But yeah, the technology itself, I still am trying to understand and grasp how each lattice differs because there's 12 different patches. The first patch was with the Navy SEALs. That was different than the X39. So each lattice will communicate with the different peptide in your body. You know, collagen's a peptide, insulin. These things will activate depending on the structure of the lattice in the pad, in this little tiny pad.
Well, it's you're equating. Well, what's literally happening is there's the energetics through light, through pattern, through wave, right? And
Yes.
moving that wave into a chemical. So we're moving from wave to particle, right? We're moving
Right.
from a energetic
Yeah.
intervention. This is how the pineal gland makes hormones,
Melatonin. Yeah.
or
Exactly.
or
Right.
or DMT or whatever you want to call it in the pineal gland is our radio receiver, but it takes either a physical or a energetic signal to then translate that and transmute it into chemical, which is so
Right.
fascinating. This is why I think the human body is the most complex, beautiful thing in the entire universe. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you take light and make it into something that's chemical you can see and feel and measure? And this is, like you said, this is only, even
Right.
though this is technology has been around, it's like the evolution of this is imagine
Yeah.
activating, like whether it's a patch or some other method that comes through where now we know the frequencies. It's
Yeah.
like turning the radio dial, right? It's like,
Oh yeah.
which frequency do I need? So now I firmly believe the medicine
Rockefeller
of the
had that
future,
had, you know,
the
the
medicine
sound.
of the future is frequency and sound medicine, right?
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Well, where can people go to find out information if they're looking for it?
Yeah, I mean, we have websites, LifeWave has websites, our team has websites. One of my favorites, it's called This Is It Info. You can't order from there, but thisisitinfo.com. I mean, hours and hours and hours of information. Testimonies, everything you want to see and hear. The patents are there. You can click on videos. You can dive deep into the science. That's where I got my information from initially when I was starting. And then there's websites you can order from directly. There's different ways to purchase it. You're not going to find it in Target. You definitely don't want to buy it on Amazon or those types of places. You have no idea who's selling that to you and if they're all activated or if they're all real. So you want to be cautious of that. But you do need to buy it through somebody because it is directly sold to the consumer globally. So the
Well,
information is
and
there.
that is the way of not
Yeah.
just going direct to consumer, but a lot of the rigorous things that need to happen. This is why with like my PEMF and some of the
Yeah.
technologies is they're not medical technologies only because there's a high degree of scrutiny that needs to happen, not because it's safer and effective. It's just there's a barrier to that. So because these things are generally safe like there's no harm to be done, this is
Right.
why some of these technologies have to go through these channels. You've created a pathway for our community
Yeah.
to go through, which is lifewave.com/beyond the pills.
Yes.
We'll put the link in there. Our
Yes.
goal now is because we've started this community, we want people that are coming on the show to give back to the community and to be able to access this through our community. So we
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah. I think it's amazing.
that. And I remember this was years ago, when one of my good friends, he's a big biohacker, does a lot of stuff in that world. He introduced me to this little thing because I was like, "What is on your neck, dude?"
Yeah.
I
You're
literally said that to him. And he's like, "Oh, it's this LifeWave. It activates light and stem cells and it's got longevity like data to it." I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll try it." So
yeah.
I had tried it for a while. And then for some reason, my portal or whatever it just didn't happen. And then I forgot about it. So it's glad that I'm back into the awareness of these things and that we can now share it to a
Right.
larger community. So,
Yeah, and I think that's important. I mean, we have a documentary coming out. It's going to be on Netflix. It's really going to open up so much more of this. Mickey
oh, cool.
Loomis did a documentary with David Schmidt, and it's going to literally open up the eyes to so much more of the community when that hits.
Well, I love it. And then that it's late when we're talking about, like, we're not talking product, we're talking what the product is, right? It's like
Yeah,
we're talking light frequency medicine,
right,
frequency energy, and locking the body's ability to heal in
right,
these new and innovative ways that are
right.
simple. They're not invasive, like you're sticking on a little patch.
Well,
You're
you
not
literally, I mean, you can have there's 97-year-olds, right? I'm going to put on my sticker and go, and light change happens. Life feels vitality comes back, sleep. I mean, so many things just happen. Just stick and go. It's got to be the world's easiest. You don't have to swallow anything. That's what I like. I don't like swallowing things. I have no idea what's but you touched on plants and, um biophotons. That's all living things, right? Plants, animals, humans. When that happens, it causes a measurable change, a chemical reaction. That's your light emission. I mean, that's just something that we have that ability. So this company, 22 years ago was like, I have it. And the reason there's so many patents is because it's a protected technology. There'll never be another company that can do that. And so what's coming out that we've seen that's not available yet is incredible. There's some more stuff coming.
well, when you've been around this place of wellness and healing
Yeah.
long enough, you
Yeah.
start to realize, and my energy masters and my mentors, like, it's
Yeah.
all about energy. Like when you talk about everything, it's energy, right? And
Right.
so down to the atom, it's all energy. So we have to influence energy to get to the physical body much faster than just influencing the chemistry, which is where we've been in the like this is what pharma has locked had been on influencing chemistry at the very direct space through medication and toxic things that can, it is what it is. But now we're getting like moving so closer to source, to energy, to these things that can literally transform lives in beautiful ways. So thank you for enlightening us today with what we've been doing.
I love
and
it.
the team that you've assembled around you, and the stories and the transformation that's happening with one little patch. So it's nice to see, and I'm glad that we could expose this to our community.
Yes.
To allow people to make informed, confident decisions and explore their own journey. That
I
is
love
literally
that.
the essence of what we do here.
That is right. That is right. Beyond the pills, literally. So I'm excited that you had me here today and allowed me to share and bring light to it.
Yeah, I think these are the beautiful conversations we get to have because of the freedom of what we can do with podcasts. So thank you so much for joining us today and allowing us to expand this vision. I get to go back into the science and the data, and I want to explore more of the clinical trials, because that fascinates me in the protocols we can create now for people to allow them to, like I said, unlock their own abilities.
That's right. That's right.
It feels so much better than having something or someone else dictate your own existence, right?
No, and for $3 a day, I mean, you cannot beat that. We're not talking thousands of dollars in a month. No. So
Well, that is my 2026 vision for the community and beyond, is democratizing longevity.
Yeah.
To me means giving accessibility to virtually anybody that feels empowered and wants to invest in that.
That's right.
You don't have to take out $100,000 loan to get a treatment of X to do Y. It's like, no, we can take our own active responsibility. Yes, there is costs.
Right.
Those are investments. I think your best investment in life is in yourself.
That's right. That's right.
So if we can, this is why I love working with high impact, heart-centered people, entrepreneurs, because they are making a bigger impact in the world, and this ripple effect can happen.
Yes.
And so let's keep healing people one person at a time and keep moving.
Yeah.
So,
I love it. I love it.
Thanks so much for joining us today, Robyn. This was a beautiful conversation. Go check it out, lifewave.com/beyond the pills. We'll be putting the links in here. And see what resonates.
Yeah. Let's do it one patch at a time, one person
patch,
at a time.
one person at a time.
Yes. Thank you so much, Josh. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap, everybody. Until next time, stay well. Thanks for joining me today on Beyond the Pills. If our mission to de-prescribe 10 million unnecessary medications resonates with you, share this episode, subscribe, and leave a review. Whether you're a practitioner or someone ready to reclaim your health, visit rx2wellness.com for free resources to begin your journey. Together, let's go beyond the pills and co-create a world of vibrant health and true healing. Until next time, live better and stay well.